Hi, and welcome to this really exciting video that I'm making today, for me anyway. I wanted to introduce you to what is going on in this business, myself, what's happening, and how it might be really relevant for you to come along with me on the journey. So some of you might know that I have had my finger in a few pies over the years, and whether that's music or writing or interior design, if you know me well, which some of you might, I've always had a real vision and interest in trauma work. And that is something that started when I was a teenager. I am no longer a teenager, but it is something I've always tried to bring somehow into whatever business I've had, whether that is directly working with nonprofits, whether that is profit sharing with nonprofits, whether that's collaborative, creative projects. I've always tried to direct somehow in whatever field I'm in something towards working with trafficking survivors or women who've suffered traumas, and worked to try and make my business work for them. So when we relocated to the UK 2 years ago, long story short, really struggled to find work. Everything fell apart for my business after October 7th. And I couldn't get a job. I spent months and months and months applying. I've got a pretty good CV, but it didn't work. It was just impossible and incredibly humiliating, but also discouraging. So I thought, okay, well, if I can't work, what else can I do with my time here? It became very quickly obvious to our family that we were going to be here shorter and more temporarily than we had previously thought. So I jumped in to training. So I have just completed a master's in somatic trauma-informed coaching. Now, some of you might know that I've done lots of coaching over the last 10 years, business coaching, personal coaching, one-to-ones with women, group coaching, retreats, all kinds of different things. And so it made sense for me I actually tried going down like therapy, training to be a therapist and counseling and all these different avenues to try and find the right one that fit me. And those didn't work for me so well. So I've focused on coaching because it's something I know, it's something I already do. And it brought in this whole world of trauma care, and particularly somatic trauma care, which I really, really connect with. So to cut a long story short, essentially, I am now moving back to the Middle East, and I am still extremely passionate about my design business, but I have a new lens, and the lens on it is trauma care. And that is super exciting to me because it feels like all these threads have come together in this most incredible way. And it is so, so relevant at the moment in our world. Essentially, what I've been studying is somatic trauma, and somatic means the body, and it basically means how we can work with the body to understand what it's doing, how we're responding, and where the trauma has come from. Sometimes it's super obvious, sometimes it's not, but that is super exciting to me. But I focused in my studies on neuroaesthetics, which is basically the study of how our surroundings impact us, our bodies, our mental health, our well-being, and most importantly, our ability to recover from trauma. So as you can see, my threads are getting really well plaited together. And that has resulted in my business, which is going to have a design arm. I want to specialize, and I'm already specializing, super exciting. I already have clients, but specializing in trauma care. So making sure your home is aligned with what you need to recover. But not just that, I absolutely have always loved working with particularly women in the business space. I've done lots of business coaching over the years, and to be able to now offer a coaching business that has a real niche, which is somatic trauma care, but also we may not know what our trauma is, we may not know we are traumatized. That's kind of the world that we're in. We might just know that we're super anxious, or we're kind of burned out, or we're totally overwhelmed, or we really struggle with panic attacks sometimes at work, or you cannot cope with your children. Maybe your children have those sort of symptoms or behaviors that are going on in their world. Those are the people I want to take on a journey. It is a coaching journey that takes you from burnout and survival mode to thriving. And it's all about understanding yourself, understanding what you're going through and why your body and your mind and your physicality as a whole person is responding to whatever it was or is the way that it is. And then also through that, how your environment is going to impact that, because they very much work together. We have created boxes for ourselves in this world. It's just the way it is, whether that's offices, homes, we live in boxes, and those boxes contain massive, massive influence over how we do and how we don't do. And my job and my role, my niche, my little area that I just have landed on my feet in and just absolutely love is this constant correlation between what is going on in my body and how is the outside impacting that. So I would love to invite you to jump in. I'm planning to make tons of videos and have lots of people on here to talk to me about this whole thing. It's going to be a really nice hybrid of super creative design alongside of hopefully really easy to understand and engage with tips and insights into that could help you, could definitely always help me. I'm constantly surprised at things I'm learning about myself. I think that was probably the most exciting part of the studying that I did, was just how much self-realization I had about how I was behaving and why. And it was super illuminating, and I absolutely loved it. And you know, you have to learn, you have to be practiced on, right? So I had all these people giving me what I now give others, and it was really, really exciting to see. So that is really the sort of introduction to the direction I'm going to be going in. I absolutely love hearing from you, whether that is in emails, whether that is on social media, or whether that is here on YouTube or response to podcast episodes. I love to hear what you think. I love to hear your questions and would love to hear just interactions. The places that I tend to live are more the long form content side of things. I am trying to be very, very mindful about how much time I spend on social media. I'm not there, but I'm also not living there. It's a calling card. You may say hello, but I live on my blog, my email list, my YouTube and podcast, and those are the places that I am going to be focusing on. So please do feel free to pop along and say hello. If you have a question, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to address it. I'd love to talk about it. And I'm just looking forward to going on this journey and being able to bring some really great insights and help to, that is always my heart, is just want to help. I want to help people recover and thrive and stretch, but not break. And I think I'm just really excited to be able to bring this with me as I move. Countdown is on, it's only a few weeks to go, and bring it back with me and continue where I left off. A lot's happened in that time, but I feel like it's really interesting timing that I have gone through this in time for that. So invite you along, and I'll see you in the next video.